Hello, everyone. Christina here from the Coolest Projects team. I am so excited to be going live today to connect with all of you all over the world. I am one of the many people to bring Coolest Projects online to you all this year. Shout out to the incredible Coolest Projects team and to the amazing community. You make Coolest Projects happen, and I see community members already connecting in the chat. If you haven't already, please say hello in the chat and let us know where in the world you are joining from. I'm Christina, and I'm in the USA, right in the center in the state of Nebraska. I'm seeing folks. Hey there, Alex. Hello, Pink Raccoon on YouTube. Hello. See, good luck from Nasia. Hello, welcome. Thank you so much for joining us. Appreciate it. We appreciate it. So today we are spreading the word about Coolest Projects. If you are new to the Coolest Projects community, welcome. We are so glad that you are here. The Coolest Projects online showcase is a space for kids up to 18 to celebrate and share what they are creating with technology. That's right, we want to see what you've created. Also, we have a special announcement later on in the stream to share, so stay tuned. So today we are broadcasting to YouTube and Facebook and Twitter. Maybe you're joining us from a Coolest Projects channel, Coder Dojo, Code Club, or Raspberry Pi. We are so glad you're here because Coolest Projects is for you. I'm seeing folks, hello from France, hello Virginia in Ireland, hello Ali in Iraq. Oh my gosh, Cape Town, South Africa. Oh, this is so exciting. It's just such an example of how global this community is. And I am so honored to be able to connect with you all today. We can see your comments. I'm seeing them all right here. It's amazing. And we want to hear from you. So feel free to join in the chat, ask questions. I will do my best to respond to your messages. Oh my gosh, I'm seeing France. Hello, I saw Annabelle pop up. Hi, Suraj on Facebook. We see Dublin, Bangladesh. This is amazing. Welcome. Okay, so let's jump right in. Coolest Projects, what is it? How can you get involved? Coolest Projects is where you can share what you've created with technology. This is an online event and free. So that means you can participate from anywhere in the world. We already have projects from over 30 different countries and 6 of the 7 continents. So if you know anyone in Antarctica, I got excited, I couldn't say the word, Antarctica, we'd love for them to participate. This is an opportunity for you to represent your country and share your project with the world. We actually did Coolest Projects online last year, so let's take a moment to check out some of those projects. As you just saw, all levels, types, and stages of projects are welcome. Whether your project is a work in progress, a prototype, or completely finished, you can join in. And as you saw, projects were also global. So I'm seeing folks coming in Taiwan, Indonesia, Brazil. I saw folks, Ghana, hello Shiori in Japan, hello Bali, Indonesia, Sweden. Oh, this just warmed my heart. I'm so happy to see you all. Thank you so much for connecting. Now let's talk about registering a project. You saw there were different types of projects. So when you register a project, you register in one of 6 categories: Scratch, web, games, mobile apps, hardware, or advanced programming. You can register your project now at coolestprojects.org. And then your creation will be showcased in the Coolest Projects online gallery for people all over the world to see. You can share your project with the world. So like I mentioned, this is a global event. So I have some friends who are going to be joining us today to share more about Coolest Projects. So first, I'm excited to welcome Michelle, 2020 Coolest Projects participant. Hello, Michelle.
Hi.
Michelle, hi. Michelle worked with her team member, Elisa, to create an app called Green Coins, a 2020 judge favorite. So let's talk, Michelle. Can you share a little bit, like, how did you first learn about Coolest Projects?
I heard about it from my teacher in Alice Code in our organization.
Okay, Alice Code. What is Alice Code?
Alice Code is an organization of girls learning programming. We have groups there, and in my group, we are taking a Harvard course
Oh, wow.
where we learn new programming languages.
Oh, that's incredible. Do you have a favorite programming language?
Yes, I love Python a
Oh,
lot.
cool. Well, can you tell us a little bit about your project? How did you come up with the idea?
Yes, the name of our app is Green Coins. This is an app that helps people save money and also lowers the amount of garbage in the world.
Oh, wow.
We chose to work on this app because we realized that a lot of people buy products they don't really need, usually things online, which eventually become garbage that pollute the environment. So we thought that once we put all the information about their unwanted expenses in one place, so their awareness of waste would go up and they would buy smarter.
Oh, wow. Well, I think we actually have a clip. Let's check out you explaining a little bit of your project from last year's entry.
The homepage. Here you can see all your expenses on items that you wanted to buy and things that you needed. On the plus sign, when you click it, you can add a product to the list. For example, we can add a pan. Here we'll enter the price and we choose if we want it or need it and add.
That's such a great idea. As someone who's personally probably been buying too many things online, the idea of having an app that can help me track that and identify, okay, is this something I want or is this something I need? I'm curious, the video you made, that's an example of an entry for Coolest Projects. What advice do you have for a young person who's making a video? I think your video was really strong. It led you to be a judge favorite. Congratulations again. What advice do you have for creating a video?
First of all, write down the things you want to say and remember the important parts. And don't be stressed. You can make it again.
Yeah, I think that's such an important reminder. This is a community event. This is about a celebration, and don't be stressed. It's hard to not be stressed, right? But I think it's such an important reminder for everyone when they're creating a project. What was Coolest Projects online like for you?
It was a little bit challenging because of the COVID. So we divided the work on the code and we worked mostly through the Zoom, but we succeeded.
Yeah, that's such a great point that you worked with a partner, Elisa, and that's a reminder to folks, you can work with a buddy, like you can work on a team, up to 5 people can work together on a project, or you can work individually, and it's neat to see. Is Elisa from Alice Codes as well?
Yes.
Oh, wow, that's great. That's really great. Do you have any current projects that you're working on?
Yes, in my school, we are making projects. So my project is an escape room game where the player has to find clues in the room and go through all the levels to escape.
Oh, wow. Oh, well, I hope you share that in Coolest Projects. Do you have advice for someone who is interested in participating in Coolest Projects?
Yes, it's a very fun competition. When I heard it, I was very interested. So I think you need to sign up and make it.
Yes. Okay. You heard it here from Michelle, folks. Sign up, participate in Coolest Projects. Michelle, thank you so much for joining. It was great to have you on, and I hope we connect soon. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you so much to Michelle. That was great. Well, with the time we've got someone else coming up. We're going all over the world, folks. So now we have Matej, 2020 Coolest Projects participant. Matej created Agathar Lore. Hello, a third-person RPG game. And you were also a 2020 Judge favorite. Congrats. How are you doing today, Matej?
Oh, I'm fine.
I'm so glad you're here. Can we start with, can you share, how did you get started coding?
Um, okay, I started programming because one of my father's students asked me if I'm interested in coding. I had no idea what this was about, but I said yes. After all, she was my supervisor in summer camps, and I knew she was a good person. Her name is Yona Keresh, and since then, I feel she's my teacher and my friend. I'm not sure how old she was when we start. I'm not sure how old she was when we start work together. Maybe around 16. This
Okay.
year, she asked for my help with one of her projects. My part wasn't a big thing, but it made me feel great. She's
Yeah.
preparing a project for Ars Electronica, and she needed some optimized graphic components.
Wow. I love that she was 16, like when you guys first connected and she taught you. And I think that's just an example of like, if you were a high school student at USA High School, if you're 15, 16, you can help inspire someone to code just like Matej, because you were a Judge favorite, which was such a cool thing to see. How did it feel when you learned that you were a Judge favorite last year?
Okay. Well, it was really unexpected. If you remember, there were doubts about last year event, about the existence of last year events. So I have decided to put the game for the coolest project on standby to work on another project, a 3D reconstruction of Roman city here in Transylvania. So the time limit for the coolest project was a real problem.
Okay. And then when you were a favorite for coolest projects, how did that feel? How did you learn you had gotten nominated as a Judge favorite?
Well, I don't know. I was very surprised. That's I don't
Yeah,
think.
for sure, which is so neat. Are you let's talk a little bit about the project that you had last year, Agathor Lore, which was an RPG game. I think we have a clip of it. Let's check it out.
The playing character is a genetic and cultural hybrid, which finished the first episode as a civilizing hero, and now, in the second part, faces an ascension to a demigod position. I live in Cluj-Napoca, which is a multicultural center. To be more clear, the name of my city on the entrance plate is spelled in 3 different languages. Over these language mixtures are coming the voices of our university students from all around the world. The basic idea is that I know that such a multicultural society is possible.
I can't believe you made that whole game. It's really impressive, and it's just such an exciting project to have been able to witness for me. Or is it something you're still working on? Are you still working on your game?
Yes. The project I'm working on now is called, at least temporarily, Pons Fate. Pons Fate is a combination of an RPG and an old school FPS. The basic idea of the game is different from everything I've done so far, and in fact, from many other games I know. The player is in my concept just a pawn in a game played by others. The world I'm creating for this game is derived from the medieval tarot, the Raider White version. There are paradoxical words in opposition. I'm even thinking of giving up chromatics for the negative double of my worlds. Basically, I want to create a chaotic universe in which the player doubts the integrity of his own self. You will be alone in a world that you do not understand and do not control.
Wow. Well, do you come up with these ideas? Well, how do they come to you? Is it something you're just on a walk, you write it down? Where do these ideas come from?
Okay, I think the story of this idea is difficult to explain. I found that the main problem lately, at least for most of people, was not necessarily medical, but rather mental health.
Mhm.
Isolated from the world, family, and friends, we were connected only through a virtual environment, assailed by news and fake news that continuously reconfigures our appearance of reality. I try to virtually remake this chaotic context by linking it to the idea of prediction, which is closely related to tarot. All characters are based on the archetypes created by tarot cards. Tarot cards are very permissive language because they are meant to speak to everyone.
Wow. I think that's so neat how you're bringing in the culture there and bringing in that idea. I think you're reading a lot of love, Gabriella. You're amazing, Matej. A lot of love in the chat, which is awesome. I am super inspired by that and love the idea that you're bringing into this new project you're working on. Now, you've done Coolest projects. What advice do you have for a young person interested in participating in Coolest projects?
I don't know how the coolest project was initially designed, but for me, maybe because of the way it was presented to me, the coolest project is not a competition, it's a place and time when you can meet other children who share the same passions to exchange ideas. The basic idea is that you have to present your work to your equals and learn from their projects too. In the end, I feel it's just one rule: your current project must be better than your last one.
I love that rule. And like and you're always going to keep learning. So it's always automatically going to be better. You're going to build on those skills. And I love that you meant or what you mentioned, the aspect of community. And I really appreciate that, and appreciate that Coolest Projects has brought us together, connected us with Michelle. Thank you so much, Matej, for sharing. I really appreciate it. And I'm excited to see your next project. Have a great rest of your day. Bye.
Bye.
Wow. Oh, y'all, we're all over the world, and it's so incredible. And I am so grateful for folks in the chat, the love that we're seeing for both Michelle and Matej. Those were awesome ideas. And I hope you were inspired. If you want to see more projects or want to see more of the videos from Matej and Michelle, you can go to coolestprojects.org and you can check out last year's showcase. I highly encourage you, and you'll get a lot of inspiration from it. So now that we've been inspired, right? I'm hopeful and sure that some of you at home are like, oh gosh, okay, I've got an idea. How can I create my project? We are going to share some resources to help folks get started. And I'm going to bring on my teammate, Nuala. Nuala, are you there? Hi.
Yes, I am. Hello.
Hello. Thanks for joining, Nuala. Now, I know some folks already have ideas. Can you share a couple of resources with us?
Yes, definitely. So I think the things you mentioned there about coming up with ideas and how do you think of ideas, people might find that that's a bit challenging, and sometimes particularly younger people might need like a little bit of help going outside something if they're normally their learning materials might be more structured. So I think encouraging independent learning and encouraging them to make something that they care about can be so motivating and helpful to make sure that they continue with their project as well.
Exactly.
So we've a few resources that I'm going to show you now. So this one is our project design worksheets. So these work well, particularly maybe for teenagers or slightly older children if they're thinking about a problem or an issue that they want to help in the world. And they can work through the different steps of these resources. They can pick their problem. They can think about the audience or the user and what that experience is going to be like and how they're going to help them with their project. And then they can start thinking up different ideas and then start designing what their project is going to look like. And we've really helpful design pages so they can think about if it's an app, what it's going to look like on their phone, or if it's a website, what that web page is going to look like. So this resource can just be really helpful for them to quickly fill in, get some ideas down on paper for them to work through.
Yes, agreed. And I think it's so important for folks, like when you have an idea, especially for kids, right? You see an app, you see a website, that's not where it started. It started a lot of times on a whiteboard, on a piece of paper. Someone drew out what they wanted the website to look like, what they wanted the app. Someone had drawings of what the game could look like and made it in Scratch before they then started to roll it out in another space. So these resources are for you. Thank you so much, Nuala. Well, let's go ahead and move into a Q&A section. I forgot to mention earlier, but we're happy to take your questions. So if you have any questions, please put them in the chat. We also collected questions from our community earlier via email. So thank you all to folks who submitted questions. So we're going to start with, first question we got was from Den. I have an automatic car with an Arduino. Can I participate? Yes, Den. Yes, you can participate. We would love to see the car that you've made with your Arduino. And as I mentioned, please put the questions in the chat and we'll definitely get to those when we can. Next question, do we have to use a Raspberry Pi? This is a common question. Coolest Projects is part of the Raspberry Pi Foundation. You may be joining from a Raspberry Pi Foundation channel. You do not have to use a Raspberry Pi. We do have a hardware category, any type of hardware. So Den might submit their automatic car with the Arduino. We've seen projects with microbits. We've seen projects with Raspberry Pis. We welcome all types of hardware projects. Next question from Oisin. Do I have to show my face in my video? Nuala, could you answer that one?
No, you don't at all. So if you prefer to just have your voice recorded and it just to show your project on the screen, you do not need to be in the video at all.
Thank you, Nuala. Seeing a question, what counts as advanced programming? Would you be able to answer that question, Nuala?
Yeah, definitely. So thinking about if you're using maybe, for example, Python and then mixing it with different technologies. So things like APIs, or if you're using multiple different languages, that'd be counted as advanced programming. So something, if it's a more basic HTML, CSS website, you'd use enter it into the websites category. But if maybe it's a platform with a back end and there's other data being pulled out from different sources in the project, advanced programming is where it will go.
Yes. So if you understood what Nuala was just saying, you're likely going to be in advanced programming. I wouldn't. Thank you so much, Nuala. We've got a question from Petra. When is the last day to register? So May 3rd. May 3rd. Thank you so much for asking that question, May 3rd. Project registration closes on May 3rd. So that is when you need to submit your projects. And then during the month of May, they'll show up in the showcase. And we've got an announcement a little bit later about what's going to happen in June. I'm excited. Very excited.
One thing to also mention, Christina, you can register your project before that. And a lot of people prefer to do that. The showcase gallery will be open from the middle of April. So even if you want, you could register your project in mid-April and get it up there as one of the first projects in the showcase gallery to share with friends and family.
Yes, that's such a good point, Nuala. And I see Tamar, yesterday I made my first Arduino Minecraft project with my son. Applauses. Yes, applause! Tamar, that's amazing. And I hope your son submits their project. We'd love to see it at Coolest Projects. And like Nuala said, you can submit a project today. And in doing so, you can be one of the first ones to show up in the showcase, which will be really cool. We have a question. Will you record this session? Yes, this session is recorded. You can check it out on the Raspberry Pi Foundation YouTube channel. So that is where this video, the stream will live. We have a question from Vicky on YouTube. Vicky, thank you so much for submitting. Do you have any tips and tricks on making your own video to showcase a project, like short videos? Well, Vicky, thanks for asking. The videos have to be, what is it, Nuala? It's 2 minutes, right?
2 minutes, yeah, a max of 2 minutes. You can use software like OBS, so Open Broadcast Software is a really useful free tool that people can use to record their screens and also record their voice over it, if that's helpful. If you're not a native English speaker, you can use subtitles in English as well as a handy tip. But there's 3 questions that we ask participants to include in their videos. So they structure out how you can present your video. So talking about the project, how you made it, thinking about if you'd add anything on, because projects do not need to be finished to be submitted into the showcase. So we have a question there that judges will take into account if you had planned to add more onto your project as well. So definitely check out those questions.
Excited. We're excited too, Vicky. Thank you so much. And thank you for that answer, Nuala. And I think that's such an important part to remember is projects don't have to be finished, right? And projects really are never finished, right? You're always getting updates on your phone. You're always seeing a update on a website. Your projects are really never finished because you're always learning and adding to it. So we welcome those unfinished projects. I got a question. Is the projects, they can only be made by kids under 18? I know we're all kids at heart. But yes, this Coolest Project is an event for youth under 18. So thank you for asking that question. I want to be mindful of time. So I want to move in to the announcement. I've got a special announcement for you, Nuala. Are you excited to hear it?
I'm very excited.
I only just learned this. So are you ready? We're going to do a drum roll. Drum roll. So we have picked a date for our Coolest Project celebration announcement. This is when we will be announcing the judge favorites, and it's June 8th. June 8th, folks. Yes. I know everyone's dancing at home. June 8th. save the date and stay tuned for more details. But that is the date. Once you submit your project, I know Matej had mentioned that this is really about celebration and community. There's a small competition aspect where judges will shout out favorite projects. So though that is happening on June 8th. Save the date. It will be another live event like this, and we can't wait to connect with you all about it. So, oh my gosh, that like the announcement, this has just been so much fun. Thank you to Michelle and Matej for sharing about their coolest projects experience. Thank you, Nuala, for joining me. I appreciate it. And for sharing about the resources. And thank you to everyone in the chat. It's been so much fun connecting with you all from all over the world. Absolutely amazing. For kids at home, we want to see what you create. This is your chance to share your project with the world. Head to coolestprojects.org and register your project today. Represent your country in the global showcase. Please share this opportunity with your friends and other young creators. This is the place for you to connect with an incredible and supportive community. Now, if you have any more questions, we weren't able to get to them, email us, hello@coolestprojects.org. We're here to help. Thank you all so much for being here. Thank you to Nuala and to our Coolest Projects team. We can't wait to see what you create. Bye.
Bye.